Hobby now. It is June 19th, 2024. I'm ZiggyNo. We're talking about the hobby right now, the last week, what's going on, the hobby news, hobby trends, rumors, my insights, my takes, my thoughts, sharing it with you on Hobby Now. This is episode, I don't know, been going over half a year. So it's every week. We'll call it episode 20 something. Going to talk about the PMG. Got wrapped up this week. Chrome dropped. Anybody care about Series 2? I'll mention that no one cares about Series 2. Fanatics shows the national show. Summer of 2024 is about the shows, baby. Breakers change in the breaker community. My honey hole, one of my favorite breakers. I've been breaking with her probably 10 years. I don't want to say sold out, but they're part of a bigger breaker now. They've been acquired. 1,000 patches swapped or more. Is this a shock to you? Dan, the card man, did a great video on that. We'll talk about that. Volpe, bounty was hit. Bounty was hit. I got to do something with the bounty. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just begging to be done. I'm getting bored with content. It feels like we have a lot of gaps in the armor. Where'd the good shows go? All and more. This episode of Hobby Now, dropping real late on the 19th of June. Let's start off by let's cover up some old news. PMG story, I think, wrapped up. My takeaway from that is that it pays to commit fraud in the hobby. And it's not that it pays to commit fraud. That's probably the wrong thing to do. But there are loopholes in this hobby that if you can figure your way out, it pays to do it. Like basically, here's the key. The loophole is if you sell an item on eBay and eBay authenticity says it's authentic, you win. I mean, I don't even know how to say it, right? If you're a seller selling something and you're able to get authenticity to say yes, you win. And really the reason there is a yes is based on the slab. So I'm actually surprised, like the guys who looked at that Beckett slab with this, and again, just to give you the background of the story, guys. Fake red PMG was sold because of Beckett graded it as authentic, altered red PMG, when in essence it wasn't a PMG at all. It was just a card that someone had colored red and was mislabeled, is the explanation. Mislabeled by Beckett. Tells me get your red paint out, paint a bunch of cards from Rubber Deck, send them to Beckett. Maybe they mislabel another one and you win a lottery. I mean, that's really what we learned from this. I want to say the lesson is don't use Beckett, but that's not going to happen. It's not like PSA is better, by the way. I know Dan the Card Man touches on that, and even Sports Card Madness touch on this. Here's the reality, guys. You all are paying a lot of money for something just because a wizard told you that there's magic. That's the way I look at it. You're paying a lot of money because a wizard told you there's magic there. Now I understand some richest people in the world have put a lot of faith into it. It's at the point where I don't think the sports card hobby could collapse because there's so much faith and belief in it. It's almost like a false religion right now. You can't end it. Even if you know it's fake, you're still going to keep going on. Someone's still going to buy into the dream. Someone's still going to buy the hype. Someone's just still going to go, well, I don't know. Maybe I can make money on that. So scamming pays. Really sad. And I think Dan summed it up. I will say, just kind of tie this in. Dan did a video later on the 1,000 patches that have been swapped potentially in cards, and AIH has come out with some videos. And first of all, I applaud them for doing them. I really do. I'm glad that someone's doing them. What I'm still disgusted by is why are none of the main major, a lot of content, subscribers doing anything on this? Why aren't you covering that? If you got 20,000 subscribers, why aren't you covering the negative? You don't have to be negative Nancy, but maybe just, once a week go, hey, here's kind of some reality of the hobby. Here's some of the dirty side of the hobby that we need to talk about and maybe clean up. And here's what's going on. And here's what we should be doing to fix this. Because it's those larger voices, I think, that can make change. But as long as those voices stay quiet, it's almost like they're endorsing it, in my opinion. I really mean that. Like, if you're not going to call out, like, I'll just go back to this, dude. Is it okay to sell a repack for $1,000 with $100 card in it? Because if that's okay, then cheer on the Gamble family. I say it's not. I say it's not. Is it okay to have a card that someone uh, reported stolen, and you trade that money. You trade that you use that card to get cash. Again, we know the answer to this, but we'll see you all at Culture Collision next year. um, I'm just gonna leave that story alone. I don't be too negative. Hate to start the story off negative. Let's talk about positive stuff. Product drops. Series two's out. I don't care. I even saw hanger boxes at my Walmart, and they were there 2 days later when I went back. That's kind of shocking. Honestly, hanger boxes. Hangers are bangers, right? Um, no football. I can't find football to save my life. I did find some prison football earlier in the year, and I got lucky with that, but I've not seen any optic or any other football products. Um, Chrome dropped, or the pre-order dropped the other day on Topps website on the 18th. Little pricey. And I will say, it's making me think about my strategy for Chrome. There's so much coming out to compete with my budget this summer. Between the card shows, you got the National coming, you got Fanatics Fest, Chantilly's next week. Those are three shows that I'll go to in June, July, August. I know that. I'll go to Chantilly, I'll go to Fanatics Fest, and I'll go to the National. Um, Waiting for Fanatic products come out. I don't know. Topps Chrome, those prices really bother me. I wasn't in a rush to buy any. I'll wait. I have the high price. I think they'll probably stay in that price. They'll probably go up a little bit. I was talking to ERB last night, and to be honest, I'll probably will focus on breaks. I'll buy the Yankees and the Dodgers in Chrome case breaks, and maybe chase some Chrome retail for fun. I don't think it's worth chasing it just to go after the MVPs unless you're, like as a target of the teams. The Yankees and the Dodgers have the best chance, in my opinion, of the MVPs. And I would also expand that to going after logo fractors, some room for Sapphire. There's just so much of the Chrome world you can get into. But I am happy. I will say I'm very happy that I have faded. That is to not engage with Series One or Series Two. Um, Maybe this is just a. I don't want to say this completely, but paper products suck. I ranted on this last night. ERB. I think the reason Prism has been considered better than Optic is because Optic always had to drag the dumbass Donruss paper product around with them. And what I mean by that is that as long as you have them selling Donruss paper rated rookie cards, they're going to devalue the Optic rated rookie card. I'm just gonna tell you that. As long as you have two options, right, and they look so much alike, that's going to pull the overall value of that card down. For Prism, they're just the Prism. There's Prism Silvers or Prism Colors, whatever you want to call it. But there's no Prism paper crap. So I think the paper crap really just irks me. Products, shows, the national show. I think last week, I don't think I reported it on the Hobby Now show, but I did report it later on that I was listening to Sold Too Early podcast, and they talked about the guy who's running the After Hours National show. Now, I talked about that last week. I mentioned other people. I don't think anybody listened to me. I did hear finally Neo today talked about it. Neo talked about the show that popped up and the origin behind it and the history of the trade nights and what's going on in National. It just sounds to me like the National is going to be a clusterfuck. Really does. This is like it's very well organized. Um, Again, I'm not big on wanting to walk around. I was thinking about this today. Why would I want to walk around and see every damn table? I don't. Like, am I campaigning? Am I shaking hands to get kiss babies? And I mean, it's neat to see some stuff, but I just couldn't imagine doing that. Like again, really going there, for my opinion, for the promo stuff, sponsorship stuff, giveaways, silver packs, black boxes. That's what I'm going there for. That's the fun stuff. Listen to some main stage stories, maybe. I don't know, running some friends, shake some hands, fist bump people. Even that, you know, it's not like we're gonna go out to a strip club and do hookers and blow that night, right? We're gonna have a couple cold beverages, talk about sports cards, and go to bed early. So it is what it is. Um, Excited. I will say I am excited though. Again, not for the same reasons, but I'm excited about the momentum building up. Excited to see what's coming out with Fanatics. I'm excited to see the new products. I'm excited for the new chases. I'm also excited about what's happening in Breakers bounties as well. Breakers and bounties. First of all, Volpe um, debut patch bounty was hit. Really interesting break. If you watch the guys doing a music, he points to like a picture of the bounty after he hits the card. And I think he says, that's really cool. Happy Father's Day. Love to hear more about that. Makes me think to myself, what a great Father's Day. Remember hitting that freaking Volpe card, $150,000 bounty. And he knows about it. You know why? Because he's hearing about it. It's being advertised. People love to chase the bounties. People are wondering, hell, that Luca bounty's still out there. I'm bringing this up because I've reached out to a few people. I'm going to move forward with the bounty website. My problem with it, I'll be brutally honest, right? I'm public domain here. There's no intellectual property about this that's compelling or unique. Like anybody could copy what I'm going to do, right? In fact, I'd rather somebody copy and take it over, had a bigger presence or bigger voice. I would just like to see it happen. I mean, that's kind of why I mentioned it before and why I kind of talked about it, keep kind of flirting with it. But I figure I'll go ahead and start it, get it started. Wouldn't hurt. I'm not, it's so funny. I'm so busy in my own life, so I'm gonna have to find an intern or somebody to help with the coding of the website. If anybody's interested in helping me with the bounty website, the bounty hunter, card bounties, I don't know what we're gonna call it, but DM me, message me. Love talking more. I'm excited about it. I do think it'll be fun. I also think I think the real potential isn't just in these big, what I'll call unachievable bounties, but I think more in the tactical, small bounties, product bounties, store bounties. Like a store could put out a bounty, right? Buy online, send me a picture of you buying the product, and show me the first person who hits a kaboom, gets a gift card or something. I think the bounties could really, really be fun. I mean, let's be honest, we're just playing a modern lotto game anyway, so add a little extra, what's a side bet on it, right? When you're at a casino, someone's betting behind you, side bets. Breaker challenge, breaker story. So I got a couple stories to tell you. I'm gonna close out a little bit what I'm doing. Haven't been any. Well, that's not true. I was in a break of the Titans this week, so I'm gonna try to get some autographed Titan cards at Chantilly's on the weekend. Looking forward to that. Do a little family time. I'm coming up before that, but I will be at Chantilly probably on Wednesday. I thought I was gonna be there Friday. Looks like that's not gonna happen. So I'm to be out of town. Anyway, breaker story. Today, I found out that my favorite breaker, one of the breakers I've been using for probably 10 years, I mean, honestly, one of the best breakers, my honey hole, best prices, is funny, he's honest, he's a really good guy, is now part of, it's hard for me to say this, he's part of Filth Bombs. He's part of Filth Bomb. He joined the Filth Bomb team. As he sold out to Filth Bomb. I saw Seablaz has been buying people up. Filth Bomb's buying people up. I'm wondering what Leighton, Mojo, Platinum are doing. Do they care? And what is this gold rush for breakers and that rush for the money? I mean, it's it got me thinking. I know last week Sports Card Radio talked about Football being the number one breaker, and wasn't it backyard breaks a few months ago or a few years ago, whatever the hell it was, and wasn't it Leighton before then or someone else? And who is the biggest breaker? And what makes them big? Is it in volume? Like number of product they sell? Is it sales? I mean, sales can be high. Paul Waxman, dude, he's got some high prices on his breaks. He's another one that could be high on revenue. Is it I don't know what make. I assume it's going to be revenue, right? Revenue is how you got to measure it, or cases that they do. I wonder if any of them share any metrics, and would they? Like, I would love for that, like a website that could track. Filth Bomb did 44 cases of product. Somewhat this information is out there. They all publish. They all put their breaks. Is there a way, like kind of like we track, pop reports? I love to track breaker reports, right? Number of cases they do, products they do. For example, Mojo breaks products that other breakers don't. Like they did a hockey when other breakers weren't doing hockey. And then you'll see these guys pivot. So I would love to see statistics on breakers, their volume, what they're breaking, how much of they're breaking. Um, all that stuff would be really, really interesting, detailed information. It's out there. Someone just needs to pull it together. In fact, that's another thing I was thinking. There's so much data that can be mined in sports card world right now that's not customer data, customer buying patterns, big transactions, card values, card grading, card sales after grading, private sales, public sales. There's so God much they can track. Other stories I mentioned real quickly. Like I said, I've been involved in breaking for probably almost 10 years. In 2015, 16 is when I got into it. So it's, let's say 8 years. Safely say 8 years. And I mean in every aspect of it. I've been a breaker. I've helped people behind the scenes. And I'll tell you, here's kind of a quick story. When I first got into sports cars, I loved it. I got into breaking, loved it. I was like, I can do this. And my big thing was I'll do it cheaper and I would do it as an experience. So I used to do Facebook breaks. And then I realized there's a lot of work behind it, a lot behind the scenes. And I looked into how to make a business. I looked at all the pieces of it. And I'll tell you, I decided not to do it because I realized I did not want to take on the work that's involved in breaking, the sorting, the shipping, customer service. I never wanted to. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it 100%. And I never wanted to do that. So I stayed away from it. But I've been a consultant to it. I've helped people out with it. I've gotten a lot of feedback. I know a lot of breakers. I've talked to a lot of breakers. I know good breakers, bad breakers. I consider myself an expert in the category of sports card breaking. In fact, I wish that Fanatics got more feedback from actual customers like myself than just breakers who are selling the product. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, reason I'm bringing the story up, I was recently contacted, and I have been contacted in the past by other people, get contacted all the time, but by somebody, and all I can say right now, because I am under, um, at least right now, verbal non-disclosure to not share too much detail, but there's some big stuff coming in the breaking world, big changes coming to breaking. And I think they're positive. Um, I think people are waking up to the opportunity that breaking is. I think some of these I don't want to be a jerk. Some of the guys and girls who break cards really, really take for granted, or they're, in my opinion, a little arrogant of their role, right? And I think real professional entertainers might shake that up, if that makes sense. Like just because you have a long beard and you look like a drug addict and you're ripping cards does not make you an entertainer. I almost think like, um, I don't want to go down the wrong hole here, but I just feel like some of these guys think that, oh, these hands, my hands, I did it all. No, no, you didn't. I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you for putting the cards in the penny sleeves and top loaders and shipping them to me safely. And thank you for laughing with me and crying with me during the break. But you didn't do it. You did not do it. And I think a lot's changing. A lot of good changes coming. And I also say this too. I think that you're going to see self-regulation in the industry, which is a good thing. I've also said this too. Breaking is probably the fastest and biggest way to grow this hobby. Um, Last comment I'll make. I think I'm going to accept an opportunity to help somebody with their breaking. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to be on camera. That's not my role. Not my goal or role, but I'm going to get more involved in breaking. No, it wasn't the most exciting week as far as content. I'll be honest, I've been very busy. I feel like content in general has just been kind of down. It's been all negative stuff. I think a lot of us are waiting for better products to come out. They're still uncertain. You're waiting for those damn Fanatics products. You got optics been delayed. I'm talking optic football, by the way. And then basketball, I saw the contenders out with the no autograph thing again. I'm like, this is starting to get bullshit. They're going to do that with again. Are the RPAs, the NT RPAs going to be like these really nice, Wimby looking, gorgeous, chunky patches? And you flip it over, big, not associated with any game never worn by him. In fact, these aren't even his fucking colors. It's like a no autograph on the front. I mean, where does it end? Where else did I see? Was it the uh the one-on-one optics already been hit, and they're already claiming that $100,000 card. I mean, again, it's interesting. Right now, there's nothing that's to stop Wimby between now and October. He's not going to get injured. Well, knock on wood. He shouldn't get injured. He shouldn't get any trouble. So just a lot of momentum's going to be building, a lot of hype's going to be building, a lot of opportunity to have fun. So that's it. Like, comment, subscribe. Keep the content coming. Have a great day.